Most can't be returned to the wild and are rehomed at Monkey World. But 6,000 miles away, in southeast Vietnam, the team at sister sanctuary Dao Tien do their best to rehabilitate and release some of the country's most endangered species back into the wild. They include golden-cheeked gibbons, black-shanked duke monkeys, and pygmy loris. Lee Butler has been involved in the running of Dao Tien for many years. He's just arrived to oversee the building of a new emergency rehabilitation centre, which is much needed. The number of rescued primates has increased year on year, and the completion of the new building can't come soon enough. A call has just come in highlighting the urgency. 2 baby langurs have been confiscated by the police in Ho Chi Minh City. Animal manager Ms. Fong is travelling 120 miles south to collect them.
We had a phone call from Cat Tien National Park who said the police department in Ho Chi Minh City, District 1, had confiscated 2 silvered langurs from a street seller. So she's on her way now to pick them up. Hopefully they're still okay. So we'll sit and we'll wait, and she'll probably be back around about midnight.
Ho Chi Minh City may not be far in distance, but it's a 5-hour car journey to the centre of the busy, buzzing metropolis. Formerly known as Saigon, it's the most populous city in Vietnam. It's early evening by the time Ms. Fong arrives at the police station. There's very little information about the 2 baby silvered langurs, although they're thought to be about 4 to 5 months old, and the circumstances in which they were found were distressing.
It was a street seller who had them in a cage on the side of a busy road in Ho Chi Minh City. Dreadful conditions. We don't know how long he's had them. The parents would have more than likely been shot or trapped in snares. And then the youngsters are taken away as a byproduct. It's so traumatic for the youngsters.
The 2 tiny langurs, 1 male and 1 female, are currently in a plastic crate and have been left in the corridor of the police station, where Ms. Fong gets her first look. Unsurprisingly, they're frightened and traumatized. Stolen from their parents at such a young age, there's no way of knowing what they've endured over the last few days or even weeks. But they're in safe hands now. Ms. Fong is an expert in caring for young primates and has looked after many suffering a similar fate. There are a number of formalities to be completed before she can begin the journey back to Dao Tien. She contacts Lee and sends him a photo of the 2 infants.
The female looks a little skinny, and the male seems a little bit more active from what I can see, brighter in the eyes. But until they actually get onto Dao Tien, where we can make a better and proper assessment, fingers crossed, as always, Miss Fung will do her best, honour her journey home to make sure they're okay and that she's given them milk, water, so that when they come here, we've started that process.
With the paperwork done, the 2 langurs can now be transferred into a more suitable travel crate. It's vital they get to the centre as soon as possible to start the long process of rehabilitation they so desperately need. It's a race against time to get 2 rescued baby silvered langurs to Dao Tien, Monkey World's sister sanctuary in Vietnam. The tiny infants are in desperate need of care and attention, and their future is in the balance. Throughout the 5-hour journey, animal manager Ms. Fong has been reassuring the bewildered pair, giving them water and comfort. They've made good time, arriving at the river crossing to Dao Tien just before midnight. The rescue centre is located on an island on the Dong Nai River, and the only way to reach it is by boat. Ms. Fong has phoned ahead, and Lee Butler has sent Mr. Hai, the nighttime keeper, across to collect them. It's a scenario that has become all too familiar to Lee.
This should not be happening. They're not pets. They should be in the wild, in their family groups, in the forest. That's where they belong. Tourism, illegal pet trade. It has to stop. And here at Dao Tien, where we work with Cat Tien National Park and the local government of Vietnam, we are trying to make a change. We're making a difference. But we all get very, very frustrated that this continues. This has to stop.
It's gone midnight. Ms. Fong has been travelling for a total of 9 hours and has finally made it back to Dao Tien with the 2 baby silvered langurs. The youngsters have been given names. The male has been called Depp, and the female, who is older and darker, Danny. They were being kept in a small cage by a local street seller and must have been terrified, probably having seen their parents killed for meat. The main concern now for the team on Dao Tien is the state of their health.
So Miss Fung was saying is that we have a boy and a girl. So now they're here, they're in great hands. We'll get them into their cage and we'll go from there for the night.
The first thing the team need to do is get essential fluids into the infants.
They could be dehydrated, the bodies could be going into shock. So it's really important that Miss Fung and Mr. Hai get this first feed into them. The next feed will do 50% milk, no sugar, and 50% electrolyte, so we can still get the electrolytes into them. So that will be about 2 o'clock this morning. And then at 3 o'clock, hopefully then we go to the normal milk feeds and then start to introduce a correct diet for them. It's so sad, but they're now in the best hands possible for their next step in their rehabilitation to get them back into the forest.
It's going to be a long night for Lee and the team.
No problem.
But the 2 baby langurs are now in the best possible place, and their future is definitely brighter than it was just a few hours ago. Halfway across the globe in southeast Vietnam lies Monkey World's sister sanctuary Dao Tien. It's an island reserve on the Dong Nai River within Cat Tien National Park. The 65-hectare site was set up 16 years ago with the aim of rescuing, rehabilitating and ultimately releasing back into the wild some of Vietnam's most endangered species, including pygmy lorises, golden-cheeked gibbons and black-shanked duke monkeys. A few days ago, the number in residents increased by 2, with the arrival of a pair of 4 to 5-month-old silvered langurs. Animal manager Ms. Fong travelled 120 miles to Ho Chi Minh City to collect them, after they were discovered being kept in a small cage by a street seller and confiscated by police. Despite being dehydrated and traumatized, the pair, female Danny, who has started her dark colour change, and male Depp, the younger of the 2, survived the night, thanks to the care of the Dao Tien staff.
The first couple of days are critical. Generally, the primates turn up and they're actually in shock because they're fed the wrong diet, they've been snatched from their parents, and they're sat in small cages on the streets, noise, pollution, people everywhere, very stressful conditions, and the body goes into shock.
The 2 silvered langurs, whose mothers were probably killed for bushmeat, are being bottle-fed with an infant milk formula. Staff at the centre are providing the pair with 24-hour care, and they have each other for company in their temporary accommodation.
Their arrival highlights the need for the brand new facility currently being erected on the island to cater for the ever-increasing numbers being rescued. Lee is there to oversee its completion. Until it's ready, many of the primates already going through rehabilitation are living in the larger outdoor caged areas. Danny and Depp are taken to meet some of them in the hope they can become instrumental in supporting the two youngsters.
Generally what we'll do, as we have done, we'll bring them over to the species we already have here so they get that interaction straight away. It's part of their rehabilitation. It's part of their transition. And it's to make sure that they don't get imprinted by humans. They're a primate. They need to be seen and interact with their own species. You know, we can do everything possible for them. But if we do it and we do it all, they'll never be releasable. They'll just like people too much. They have to become a primate.
It's a short visit. The team don't want to cause the infants undue stress, but are planning longer meetings as their confidence grows. But overnight, tragedy strikes. Female Danny, the weaker of the two, goes into shock and dies.
When she got here, she was very malnutritioned. She was really skinny. Although she looked okay, it was inevitable that over the 2 or 3 days, she lost condition. We spoke to our international zoo vets back in the UK, and we did everything possible for her. But unfortunately, it was too late.
It's also a close call for Depp.
We nearly lost him, but thankfully, with our vets, we pulled him back. He's now started to gain weight. He's now spending more time with our other silvered langurs, which is vital to his rehabilitation. But we've got to keep our fingers crossed. We're not out of the woods yet. We've got a long way to go to get this little boy where he should be.
The circumstances surrounding Danny and Depp's arrival are all too familiar. Just last year, Kui, a 7-month-old black-shanked Duke monkey, arrived at the centre, a timid and shy youngster in need of serious help. However, fast forward 12 months and his rehabilitation is almost complete. He's now living with other partially rehabilitated Dukes, including Anna and Vu, who suffered the same horrific start in life, being stolen from their families.
It's testament to the team and how the team work and how dedicated the team are, because he is now in the semi-free enclosure at the top of the north of the island in our 400-metre fence line with Anna and Vu, who have also been amazing in the tree. It's what we're all about. It's giving something back they've had taken away. The end result is what we have here today. So fingers crossed they continue to do well, and then hopefully when the time comes we can release actually onto Dao Tien with the family of 11 Dukes that we already have here.
Lee is hoping Depp's future will follow the same path as Kui's.
Want a bit of breakfast? There you go.
With the infant getting stronger day by day, his future is starting to look a lot more positive. Alison's efforts to help primates in need right across the globe are also highlighted by the work of Monkey World's sister sanctuary in Vietnam. Dao Tien was set up 16 years ago and is a 65-hectare island reserve in the Dong Nai River within Cat Tien National Park. The small team there dedicate their lives to rescuing, rehabilitating and releasing back into the wild some of Vietnam's most endangered primates. In recent months, the centre has had an influx of primates in need of help, particularly silvered langurs. 5-month-old Depp is one of them. The young male was stolen from the wild along with a female called Danny. The pair were confiscated from a street cellar by the police and then released into the care of Dao Tien. Young female Danny was so traumatized she didn't survive more than a few days. But Depp is getting stronger day by day.
He's doing really well, considering on day 3, day 4, when he was here after we rescued him, that we had to get him onto oxygen just to pull him through and get him to survive. He's come on leaps and bounds. His health is incredible. He's active. He's not lethargic anymore. It's just incredible to see how he's changed, and it's brilliant news, brilliant news.
With more and more primates needing rescue, the team at Dao Tien realised a purpose-built facility was the only answer. In the last few months, they've been hard at work constructing a Duke and Silvered Langer emergency rehabilitation centre. Despite everything the volatile Vietnamese weather threw at them, the building is now complete and ready to receive its first residents.
So the importance of the new build behind me is that we've got bigger cages, we can do better introductions, we have a better care facility where the staff can actually bring on the youngsters when they come here. And going forward, it'll actually help us maintain and improve the skills that we already have to enhance the rehabilitation of the Dukes and Silvered Langers when they come to Dao Tien in Vietnam.
The team have some last-minute jobs to finish, fitting out the bedrooms with lots of natural branching.
You happy?
Yeah, very happy.
Happy, cool, excellent. Okay, so we go see Depp?
Yes.
Okay.
The plan for today is to move Depp into a bedroom of his own, but he won't be lonely. 3 young Silvered Langers, Pei, Ah Chu, and Hon Mei will be keeping him company in the bedroom next door. The team think Depp will cope well. He's been spending an hour a day with Hon Mei, and the pair have got on well. Ah Chu and Pei are older and bigger than Depp, so he hasn't been fully introduced to them yet. Animal manager Ms. Fong transfers the infant into his new living accommodation, where he can watch and learn from his neighbours and constantly communicate with them.
Your new home.
With Depp already exploring his new surroundings,
Okay, bin Phuc, okay.
the team can bring the 3 Silvered Langers across to the new emergency rehabilitation centre. They're released straight away into the next-door bedroom.
Too late. We all ready? Okay.
The trio are keen to explore their new surroundings. And little Depp is a very interested onlooker.
I don't know what to say. Everything went according to plan. They've calmed down, they're nice and relaxed, they're eating, interacting. Absolutely amazing. Could not have asked for anything better. It went absolutely smoothly today.
While Depp and his 3 new housemates are in their early stages of rehabilitation, another monkey at the centre is about to complete his. Black-shanked Duke Peter will shortly be released into a 20-hectare semi-free enclosure on the southern tip of Dao Tien. The centre already has a large family of Dukes living on the island, some of whom were released in 2010. The team are hoping Peter might join them. But not having released adult males close to established groups before, they're unsure. He may just stay on the fringes to watch and learn from them. It's been a long but rewarding process getting Peter to this point. He arrived at Dao Tien 2 years ago and was estimated to be around 4 to 5 years old. Like many of the primates who come to the centre for rehabilitation, the details of his background are unclear. But the team on the island have worked wonders, and he's now a large, strapping, healthy male. Dr. Marina Kenyon, the director of Dao Tien, has flown out to oversee the release. She's amazed how far Peter has come.
Fung and the team worked their magic. One of the biggest tools we have here on Dao Tien is the forest, and we have incredible knowledge now of the wild leaf. And we just started introducing him to wild leaf, and now his knowledge of the forest leaf is brilliant, and he has gained 5 kilos. So 2 years on, he is now a magnificent male and ready for release, passed all health checks, good to go.